Welcome back. You must have come for the story of the mullu. Sorry, I mean the story of the mullu, the masquerade or the rascality. Sorry. So let's begin. Okay, I'm just gonna stop now. A long time ago, maybe when houses were created, some gadgets that were not too fancy, but it just imagine like we're really far because in Miraculous book you can make really realistic holograms, so yeah, who cares? So yeah, it's back in time, kids, and nobody really knows how the Kwame was made. Some people say that it might have been a mouse mixed with some star power, but some say that it was just like Tiki born out of a star. Nobody really knows. But what we do know, that Mullu was really shy. But when he found his owner, the owner made him miraculous. And he got so attached to it and that bond, and he created the words Mullu get squeaky, because when he was working, all his mouses were squeaking. So he created those words. And like I said in all the videos, camouflage mode always changes, but the active mode is exactly the same all the time. Through the ages, Ladybug's earrings with Tiki's in them, they're exact same, but when Tiki's out, they look different. So camouflage mode is in the time mode, basically. So yeah, and that scientist was the first ever person to figure out how do Kwamis bond with the miraculous, how did they get absorbed into them. And he gave the miraculous to his daughter when he passed off. His daughter was an artist. Yeah, the father was. He was an artist and a scientist, but his daughter didn't love anything more than drawing. And the father was really happy because it had reminded me of his mom. Some say that girl's name is Melly-chan. Who knows who that people say? People nicknamed that when she transformed, she called herself Melly-chan. She made herself tiny. She drew tiny. She was fascinated by the world. She saw everything in a different perspective. Ideas were blowing through her head. Of course, with every single power, there's a great responsibility. You might say that what's the point of shrinking and multiplying? But others might say, come on, it might be really useful when you need to be tiny and sneaky. But she used that for art purposes. She saw the world in a complete different perspective, the tiny perspective. She was fascinated. There was nothing more that she wanted to see than the tiny world. Mullu was, like I said, a shy one. So when he bonded, some people say that Mullu was useless, but how did Mullu become shy? Mullu that wasn't born shy, people bullied out of the Squammy. Because all of the other Quammies usually have a useful power, but Mullu doesn't have a useful. People say that shrinking and multiplying is terrible. And the hero, Melly-chan, was like, come on guys, we don't need to be tiny. We don't need to be big. So Melly-chan gave the stop to this. Melly-chan was stopped after being, again, some distractions. Let's move on to the Mullu story. So Mullu, okay, sorry, my sister, you don't want to see that. Okay, so Mullu, like I said, was shy and bullied, and Melly-chan, the hero, stopped him. She was the first ever person to see the world tiny. A lot of people, but some people say shrinking is bad, but when we see in movies the ability to shrink, do we say it's bad? Do we say it's cool? But back then, people said it was nothing but useless. It couldn't help with farm work. It couldn't help with hunting. It couldn't help with most of anything. But it did get help. But it did help for inspiration and being sneaky. People don't know how mullu was beginning. The mullu's beginning. But what do we know? Well, we know that the Kwame of creation knows it. So hope you enjoy this video, the mullu story. And a quick disclaimer, this is not in Kwame order, not in the that black and white order thing of the Chang. I'm sorry if I don't remember, I'm so sorry. But this is in the creative work. Imagine that these Kwamis are in order. Imagine this is how the Kwamis were actually born. In the miracle books, they were placed like that. But actually, just remember this. Because Lacey, like, I'm sorry to tell this, but I'm sorry if I sound rude about this, but this is just, it does have a fan-made thing that doesn't have order by Kwamis and that yin yang zodiac animal thing. It has order. If you have a famous, I'm just telling this to everybody. If you have a famous singer and you like the other one. So yeah, like I said, if you have a famous singer, it doesn't matter which one was born first, does it? So imagine with the Kwamis. I just made this. I made this. Next episode will be about Daisy. And that story is interesting. And Pollen is going to be in part 6. And Orico with White is going to be in part 7. But you're like, you know who's Orico, do you? But you know who's White. You're going to figure it out in part 7. See ya, don't wanna be ya. See ya, wanna be ya. Okay, I'm not gonna say this ever again. I do. Just buy my feathers.